As we beat Monaco 6-1, as y'all saw in the thing. Y'all see in the Hello Madrid of PSG. So I'm not gonna talk all about the Champions League because I watched some of the game, but I watched this game today. And after football season, I'm gonna get way more into soccer. Not way more in soccer, but I'll talk about soccer way more because it's me, dude. I don't know. I've been like ever since I watched football from football season. I mostly focus on football, and I'll watch like soccer, basketball, F1. Like I'll watch those sports on the side, but I'm really focusing on football during the football season. And then after football season's over, like in February, mostly in January, beyond January to June is when I fully focus on soccer and I just watch what everything's going on, everything else. My boy wrote down, Vini just wants coach approval. Your huddle highlights, dude? Sure, dude. Why not? But anyways, what did you say, Franny? He said Vini just wants coach approval. At this point, bro, he was hella happy when he scored. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna talk about that right now, though. So yeah, 6-1. I was talking about soccer. Yeah, let's have more soccer. Anyways, all right, this game beat him 6-1. Let me talk about the game first. We dominated. The booze worked, basically, is what I was saying. Let me actually go pull up my Instagram because I remember I did a pretty good explanation on my Instagram. The booze worked, right? You know how we were booing in the Levante game? They were booing because after we lost the Spanish Super Cup, after we lost the Copa del Rey versus, I forgot the team's name. From the second division, we lost to them. Albacete, I think it was. Lost to them. They weren't even playing, but we still lost to them. So the booze worked because they came out angry, motivated. They came back like, I don't know. They just looked angry, motivated because it was a booze, I'm guessing. And especially Vini, he had 3 goals and assists, right? He had 2 assists, 1 goal, and then he crossed in that ball that led to an own goal. And then he was man of the match. And then for me, low key, was Fede Valverde, man of the match, bro. Motor on that right side, coming over, overbooking. Now I forgot the term. But anyways, him and Mastantuono had a great connection on that right side. Overlapping, here we go. The overlaps that he would have with Mastantuono, the connection they had was great. I want to see Mastantuono more on that right side, to be honest. I think if he plays more, we solidified himself right winger, and he's young. I think that front 3 put in more work, and with Gonzalo Garcia going in there, it's gonna be great. But anyways, apart from that, that was how the game went. We dominated the game. They looked motivated. They looked actually wanting to play finally, and so we beat them 6-1. And like my boy Franny was saying, I don't think it's that Vini wanted coach approval because I think him and maybe Mbappe, which I don't know, that's a lot of reports saying that Mbappe is the one that was like the main guy and calling Xabi Alonso's job or complaining to the board that they don't want Xabi there anymore. Even though he was having one of his best seasons under him. He was our best player this season. He's the best player in the world right now. So I don't know why he would complain about that. Or maybe because he wanted full control of the locker room. Like in the Supercopa game, the Supercopa de España, where he told him, or remember Xabi said, let's give him a guard of honor. And then Mbappe said no, and everyone came to him. So I guess that was like a friction thing in the locker room or a battle of power there. And then the other thing, but I think it's mostly Vini though, because Vini, he hasn't had that pressing, or he's never wanted a work rate with any coach. It doesn't matter which coach it is. He just hasn't had that work rate. He doesn't have that. He doesn't like to press. He just doesn't like to do that. And these past few games, he's been lacking. And I think with the booze, he was crying in the halftime locker room over there. He was crying. He was booing. He's basically saying like, "Oh, I'm sad that they're booing me." But the booing worked because he had an extraordinary game this year. I mean, this game against Monaco, he had an extraordinary game. Again, the 3 goals and assists, 2 goals. I mean, the 2 assists and the goal. which a goal was a golazo, by the way, right top corner. Like, no one's catching that. So, I don't know. We needed this. I think this actually helped us. The booze, it just tells us that Real Madrid fans, like, we may be spoiled as hell, but we know how to motivate the team. Because the booze is what got them going. I think this is going to get them right into track. I actually like the tactics we had today. Well, maybe it wasn't really about the tactics. It was about the players. But I like that, like a tactical standpoint, I like the Mastantuono, Fede Valverde connection on the right. That was fire. That was goated. And then we were actually doing a lot of counting pressure, a lot of counter pressers, counter pressing. My bad. We did a lot of counter pressing that led to a lot of goals. So I like this. I like this motivated, angry Real Madrid. They play better, and then maybe that's what we need. We keep on booing them until they start going correctly. Because finally, it was actually a fun watch to watch this game in the UCL, and hopefully we continue on. Well, all right, but that's gonna be the end of the stream, guys. That's finally gonna be the end of the stream. Kind of what I'm mostly to do. I think I'm gonna stream next Sunday right after the championship games. I feel like it's better that way because I do write some stuff down for the stream, like to talk about. But when it's days later, it kind of backtracks, to be honest, and I forget some stuff. So, yeah, I'm probably gonna change that and try to do earlier streams. I just couldn't today. I couldn't this week because I had stuff to do. On Sunday, my schedule was messed up. And then on Monday, the whole thing switched up as well, so I couldn't do that. But I'm gonna try to stream Sunday right after the games, so it'll be locked in and loaded, and I'll have everything on my mind. And it's gonna be great. So that, and then after football season, after championship, it's gonna be the Super Bowl. That's gonna be the last one I'm gonna do about football, and then I'm gonna go straight into soccer, Champions League matches, basketball. It's gonna be great. So stay tuned. See y'all in the next one.